Let's do a meta breakdown right now. Alright, let's just do respawns, S&Ds. S&Ds currently, snipers are out. Respawns. Previously, it was Ames Jackal. That's what you saw at like the Kson tournament. Jesus, I just had an aneurysm. Tournament. Ames Jackal. Yesterday, you saw the SOG a little. It wasn't, in my opinion, you just got outclassed by the Jackal. So it didn't really matter. You might see it. I don't know. I think people might still test it out, whatever. You saw the GPR, or sorry, you saw the XM4 first. So the XM4 you saw in the first set of scrims. And this was everyone basically seeing if it could be added back in. But that shit's busted. I don't think it'll come back in. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, Chad. I don't think it'll come back in. Krieg is GA'd. So we didn't see that. GPR is what you mainly saw because of the Amos nerf. And when I say Amos nerf, it was a bug apparently that they reverted back to the original state of when the game got launched, rather than making the buff that happened in season 1 occur. So there was a bug. Right now it's 6 bullets. I think it's going to get hot fixed. Apparently someone said today. And yeah, I think we will see the aim. So I'm gonna say today. Let's say it gets fixed, or let's say hot fix. I think we'll just go back to maybe this. I think we'll just go back to Ames Jackal. Honestly, I don't think the GPR will stay if the Ames is better, which I assume it'll probably be because that's what people are using before. So yeah. So it's basically, I think today, once it gets hot fixed, it'll just go back to Ames Jackal. That's just a prediction. Right now, basically what you're seeing though, is you're seeing like 3 GPRs, 1 Jackal at the current moment. But I think that'll just change to the Ames or Amos, whatever, however you pronounce that shit. Was Krieg even tried, or was out before Scrim started? It was out before Scrim started because it 4 bullets. So it was just gone. It would have the fastest TTK out of all the ARs by far, I think, right? We got to run the SOG at least for an option. I mean, you can run the SOG. I'm just saying, like, I think you just get outclassed by the Jackal anyways, but it could be good and like very, very, I mean, again, it is good very, very up close, but I think the Jackal just outclasses in every other like aspect of when you're trying to use a sub, if that makes sense. So like once the hotfix happens, I think you're just going to go back to Ames Jackal, but this is just a prediction. Why no sniper with a flinch? Ask the teams that voted it out. With the patch they did buff the mobility and ADS of the GPR though. Could that mean it would be a good flex gun? Maybe. But again, I don't know if we're still in the days of possibly having flex guns, because with Gunsmith and everything, I feel like everything just beams anyways, and you might as well just use the more optimal AR, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like the aims is that bad up close when it's not, 6 bulleting. But I don't know. I mean, you might see it tried, but if I'm predicting it, it's probably just going to be Ames Jackal again. But we'll see. But Gunfighter is in. Chad, I don't know. I mean, Gunfighter is in. But I think more people are going to prioritize the perks than the Gunfighter. Because at least with the sound horning thing right now, that extra perk is definitely needed, in my opinion. I just don't know if we're ever going to see like an actual 3-gun meta anymore. Just because of how the games play with Gunsmith. Like, you might as well just run the aims. It's not going to, like, you're just going to run the optimal AR or the optimal sub, if that makes sense. Why hasn't Hideout been tested? It was tested. Hideout hardpoint is pretty ass. It's way too fast paced. I just don't think you're going to see. It's like if we played Nuketown or Payback, basically, but maybe even worse. That's how quick you're getting engagements. Like, you had people in our Scrim Like yesterday in our scrim versus Vancouver, we had people going, like everyone was going over 40. And I think 04 was going for a 60 bomb, basically. Shouldn't the teams be testing the Model L since it has a higher TTK rather than the XM4 due to the lower fire rate? I think the Model L is still GA'd, I think. I could be wrong. Because they only tried the XM4 because they were seeing if it can get brought back in. Wow, the XM4 is fucking different. That shit's insane. I think the Model L is just still G8 though. I don't know if it ever got un-G8, if that makes sense. We should up the respawn timer to 3.5. I'm surprised we haven't tested that out. I think upping the respawn timer could probably be decent. Because right now it's at 2.5, and especially with some of the maps, you're getting back in the gunfights pretty quick. Hey, appreciate the sub, Golden Game. Thank you, my guy. Is the Krieg G8? Yes, the Krieg is G8. I'll add that. Krieg out. Paul, did you see the SOG a lot in your scrims yesterday? Because we saw the SOG a little bit in the first one, but everyone just ended up using the Jackal. I do think that shit's crazy up close. Maybe in like a Skyline or something, but I felt like everyone just turned to end up using the Jackal. I don't know. We'll see today though if it. I'll put this as maybe SOG. Maybe once teams get used to, or players get used to it. I don't know. You cannot get 4 dead and then get the spawns. You got a second wave. I don't know what you were referencing. My bad. One of my questions is, what are you looking for your own team as you watch scrims and CODcaster? I'm trying to be a coach analyst for a COD team, and I was hoping to get some help from you. So the biggest thing is to first look at routes. Like look at decisions that people are making. Why is X person going, this way and not this way? Why would they, do X thing rather than Y thing? Like, I think Call of Duty is just a game of a lot of decision making, especially Respawn. Every movement, every decision you make can completely change how the situation of something. So decisions that people make is the biggest thing, and trying to basically influence how the opponents might play based on how your team's playing, based on how you are making decisions as a team. So looking at arrows looking at the minimap is everything. To make it easier, I would say, obviously watch it live, but then watch it back and just look at, one person's arrow and compare it, or not compare it, but base it off of how everyone else's arrow is working just on that specific team. You might have information on some opponents, but look at how one person's arrow is working based on how everyone else is on the map, if that makes sense. Any update on the bomb site changes? I actually don't know. I didn't even check the new bomb site changes. We didn't play search yesterday. What are the control maps? So right now the control maps are Vault and I think Protocol. I think Vault is actually a really good control map. Protocol I didn't care for as much. It's the weird with the, I don't know, it does play weird, but it's probably playable. And then I think we'll just get Hacienda once that comes out. So for right now, we might just have 2. I don't know what the consensus is on that. Why are snipers out? Ask whoever voted it out. When will the GA list be published? I don't know if it'll ever be published. I don't know because there's no council or anything that controls it.